If you're looking to beat the brand new Sunless Cell Strike on Grandmaster difficulty, or brand new to Destiny 2 at least, with easy to acquire loadouts and easy to execute strategies, then you came to the right place. First things first, we are going to go over what the champions and modifiers are of the strike. It is not the weekly Grandmaster Nightfall at the current moment, so right now you will only be able to access it if you have access to the catch-up node if you're already a base Conqueror. And this strike is going to come with a Void and Arc Surge, along with, of course, overcharged weapons, and it is going to have Overload and Unstoppable champions. But a quick little fun fact, it actually doesn't have Overload champions, or at least none that I could find. So it's as far from our 2 trial runs, it was only Unstoppable champions. As far as loadouts go, in my opinion, Warlock is by far the best class for the strike. It's absolutely exceptional for every single area of the strike that would be considered difficult, just because of the fact that you can run Geomag stabilizers along with Stormcaller and Chaos Reach to nuke anything that's a threat in rooms where you don't have a lot of space to hide. So I'm going with Chaos Reach. I got my Healing Rift. I like Ball Lightning here just because it's more ranged, and it's really tough to get up close and personal to do Chain Lightning in a Grandmaster. Pulse Grenade. I love Arc Soul here. You could go Ionic Sentry if you want to, but I just like Arc Soul a little bit better because Ionic Sentry Final Blows are not proccing Electrostatic Mind right now. It is kind of dealer's choice there. I like Arc Soul. If you like Ionic Sentry, you can go with that. Not bad for the blinding properties to stun Unstoppable champions, but Unstops aren't that hard to stun anyway. Electrostatic Mind for aspect number 2, absolutely spectacular, especially with the recent amplified buffs, and of course, defeating targets with arc abilities or defeating jolted or blinded targets, making ionic traces. That feeds into Geomags, get you way more chaos reaches. In terms of fragments, we're going resistance for more damage resistance, frequency primarily so that when we're amplified, we get double bolt charge from all bolt charge sources. More on that in a bit. Shock, so our arc grenades can jolt targets, and discharge, so that collecting an ionic trace is going to give us a stack of bolt charge, is the main thing we care about right there. As far as weaponry goes, we are going to be going with any kinetic fusion rifle, or kinetic slot fusion rifle rather, along with unstoppable fusion rifle as our primary way to stun overload champions. I really have been loving the scatter signal, but you can go anything. Could go like Riptide or Deliverance, whatever floats your boat. We're then going to go with Le Monarque, not Lemonarch, as I've been criticized for recently. Le Monarque, which does stun Overload champions, which would be nice if this strike actually did have Overload champions, but it doesn't. But we really just like this because it's really strong this season with all of the Void artifact mods. Really nice, considering it has basically infinite range because it's a bow, and there's a lot of areas where it just excels greatly. Finally, in our heavy slot, you can go whatever you want. I was really liking a Void machine gun. But if you would rather run like a rocket or a grenade launcher or something like that, you could go with that. As far as artifact mods go, obviously we're going Unstoppable Fusion. The rest right here doesn't matter unless you're using an element of heavy weapon, element of machine gun, or element of rocket launcher that does not align with the weekly surges. Then slap these on so you get overcharged weapons, so they get the 25% DPS buff. On the second column, Volatile Marksman, really nice for our Lemonarch. Actually, specifically for our Lemonarch, we want to make sure we have Volatile Marksman, Maligned Harvest, and Void Flux, which just makes Lemonarch a beast for shredding tankier targets at any range. If you have the Strand Fusion Rifle, I really like Unraveling Orbs and Horde Shuttle, but if you're running a Stasis Fusion Rifle in the kinetic slot, you can swap these out for anything else. And then if you're running a machine gun, I really like Heavy Ordnance Regeneration for the extra damage resistance. Alternatively, you could go Limit Break instead to add some extra oomph to your Chaos Reaches. I also really like Gold from Lead. Picking up special ammo has the chance to grant heavy ammo, just a nice passive artifact mod to have on. As far as mods go, we're leaning into the Lemonarch, so we've got Void Siphon. I'm using a Void heavy weapon, so I'm going Void Scavenger. That lets me double dip into bonus damage on the Lemonarch and my heavy weapon with a Void Weapon Surge. I really like a Void Resistance and an Arc Resistance for this strike in conjunction with a Concussive Dampener. I really like Ability Regeneration mods on my gloves, so I have a Momentum Transfer, Impact, and Bolstering Detonation. On the class item, Reaper, Powerful Attraction, and Bomber, and then I also slotted in an Innervation mod as well. If you, now I highly recommend for this strike, the best team composition by far in my opinion is 2 Warlocks and 1 Titan. If you want to run a Hunter, you can. You could do 1 Hunter, 1... You totally could. I would probably recommend Prismatic with like an Inmost Light exotic class item and Tether, or you could go pure Void Hunter for the saving potential, as the boss room can get a little hairy. You can go Omnioculus, Gerfalcons, On the Prowl, Graviton, whatever you want. But in my opinion, 2 Warlocks and a Titan is best for this, so that's what we're running. As far as the Titan goes, it's going to be your standard Storm's Keep Titan setup. So, you know, nothing has really changed in that regard. Thunder Crash, Rally Barricade, Storm's Keep along with Knockout, and then making sure you have Sparker Frequency, Resistance, and then these 2 are kind of up to you. Dusty's running Feedback and Amplitude along with an Insurmountable Skull Fort. You could alternatively go like Christ the Falling Star. You could go Heart of Inmost Light. It is kind of up to you. As long as you make sure you have the Rally Barricade, Storm's Keep, that is going to be the core thing going on here. You could also, by the way, slot in, instead of your Heavy Ordnance Regeneration, you could go Defibrillating Blast as well, even if you're on the Warlock, because since you're going to be standing behind the Titan Barricade, you're still discharging Bolt Charge, which is going to trigger that healing Arc Bolt. I don't find it super necessary, so I like Heavy Ordnance Regeneration, but that is up to you. So, with all of those loadouts set up, let's go ahead and hop in the Sunless Cell. I'm going to show you how to do it. And while we're flying in, if you don't have a team to do this with, I know I get a couple comments on occasion in the description that say like, oh, this is a bad guide video because you're running with a pre-made team. I disagree, because these loadouts and strategies are exactly what we use when we do carries on the live stream all throughout the week. Twitch.tv/Mactics, by the way. You should absolutely stop by. I hope literally anyone. You come in the chat and you hop in with us. You need help with this strike. I have you run the exact same loadout that I'm promoting right here, and we run all the exact same strategies. So these do work even if you have random teammates. And if you're looking for teammates, I would highly recommend joining my Discord server, linked in the description down below. In the LFG channel, you can find teammates for this who have likely all seen this exact same video, because you're all listening to me say this right now. So all of you are going to go join the Discord server, linked in the description, look for each other, and then, hey, you've all seen the guide, you all know the weapons, you all know the strategies, nice and easy. So we're going to start things off right in the Mausoleum, come over here to the right side, got a nice little pack of Acolytes. The only thing you're really concerned about, though, is this unstoppable Ogre right in front of you. So we're going to tag him up with a quick little burst of the fusion rifle, unstop stun him, take him out, all that good stuff. You also have another pack of ads to the right. Don't really have to worry about them too much. You can kill for super energy, but they're not too much of a concern because we're going right in here. Smoke that Hypernova Acolyte just to make sure he is toast, and then we'll continue on our way. At which points we will be met with an additional unstoppable Ogre. Nope, missed him. We're just going to take him out. Trying to make sure we always cast our Rift when we're next to enemies, so we get that Dynamo to proc. Take out that Ogre nice and easy. Pretty easy start. We're then going to go over here, plink down on these enemies from up above. Couple Acolytes, a Revenant Knight. Check behind us just to make sure nothing's up. We're going to stay safe from this Hypernova. LOS him. Nice and solid. And then we'll continue over here. We're going to have a whole boatload of Thrall. Grenade should do the trick. And then as we round the corner and take out these Acolytes, we're going to look to our right, and we're going to find a Taken Wizard that is linked to this eyeball. If we kill the wizard, the eyeball goes away, and that's going to be a pretty common theme throughout the entirety of this strike. As you can see, when the eyeball can see you, you're going to get stacks of Suffocating Terror, and I believe it's if you hit 20, that is what ends up killing you. So just something to keep an eye out for. We're also going to have an Unstoppable Champion over here on the left side. He's duking it out with some other enemies, though. So you can kill that Unstoppable Champion if you'd like, or you can just kind of focus on these enemies on the right side. This is where I really like to kind of set up shop, right up here. Because in this area, we need to kill 3 additional tanky Void Wizards. One of them is going to be straight down this lane right here. Hootsford just smoked him with Chaos Reach. We're then going to continue on our way. I like kind of creeping my way up here and just playing this right side. Going to have some trash mobs chilling over here. Toss a little grenade. I do want to make sure we get that Unstoppable Champion taken out. So I'm probably going to make my way over here. He got stunned, so I'll just go ahead and Chaos Reach him. Chaos Reach this Knight as well. Just to make sure we do indeed get Platinum. And then we can play from the left side as well, which is awful convenient, because then we can go ahead and take out the other tanky wizard. And then we can play on this bridge right here. We do not really care about killing any of these enemies other than the final wizard in the back. The wizards are all we care about, all we need to do to progress the encounter. We can kill these other enemies if we would like, but if we want to save some time, we can just kill those 3 wizards. One right there. That was that first one we killed over there, and then we killed the one in the back. And then if we would like, we can just completely skip past all these enemies and go ahead and continue on with the strike. Don't really have to kill anything left in there. No champions remaining. We'll still get platinum. All that good stuff. You're also noticing Hootzifer has already dropped 1 Chaos Reach, 2 Chaos Reaches rather, and I've dropped 1. When you're running the double Warlock, for all of the strike, aside from the boss room, basically just use your Chaos Reach whenever it's available. There's not really any situations here where you really need Chaos Reach, aside from the boss room, so whenever it's up, you can just pop it and let it sing and get through a little more quickly. Once we get to this room, main thing to be aware of is there's going to be 4 invisible Taken Vandal snipers. So just make sure you take all of them out because they are quite scary if they do land a couple shots on you. We're going to take out everything here. You're then going to send a player up a little bit as you're going to spawn an additional wave of enemies once you move up a little bit. And then they can go ahead and hop on right back to where the rest of your team is chilling with the Storm's Keep rally barricade. And we're just going to drop every single thing from here, nice and easy. Storm's Keep rally barricade really works wonders. See if I can get a little stun on that unstoppable Taken Phalanx. We have a Pummel Bane right here, so I'll go ahead and... Okay, I see how it is. Drop him. Kill this unstoppable Taken Phalanx, and then once all the enemies are dead in the middle, we're going to make sure all the enemies are dead on the sides. So we have a couple birds right here. A couple Grims. And then I like having the Titans sit back. And then I like having both of the other players each go to one of the sides to take out the Blights at the same time. Reason being is because when you take out the Blights, you spawn a new wave of ads here in the middle. And so it's just really convenient to spawn both of those waves at the same time, so you can deal with them at the same time. Once you kill this Blight, though, beware. You are going to have some sniper enemies that are going to spawn across the way. So I like kind of dropping down and using the little altar or pedestal that the Blight was on top of as cover, so I can take care of those enemies safely. And then you're just going to have one wizard that's going to, like, very slightly push up on you. You're also going to have these portals spawn, which will shoot these Taken Blights at you, but what's really nice is you can actually kill them if you shoot them enough. 3 fusion rifle shots from, as far as I can tell, any range takes them out. And so while you're doing that, taking care of that wizard and the snipers, your Titan is going to be obliterating everything in middle. Your other Warlock player, or if you have a Hunter on the other side, is going to be taking care of business over on that side. You're going to be nice and easy. For this room, I really love playing this little cubby right here because it allows you to slip in and get cover from the eyeball that's going to spawn. And then you just use the Storm's Keep barricade. We're going to have a Subjugator that's rather tanky, but with Storm's Keep plus Lemon Arc, pretty easy. You can also use your Chaos Reach. Something I noticed as well is if you use your super, your Chaos Reach, you do not accrue any stacks of Suffocating Terror from the eyeball. And furthermore, if you remain visible to the eyeball, you still do not accrue stacks of Suffocating Terror, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like a no more debuff for me, and then you can free fire on the Subjugator without having to worry about wobbling in and out. So once Subjugator's dead, we're going to slowly work our way up and kill the remainder of the ads. Once we kill the rest of them, we'll spawn a couple of ads right here. A couple Scions, a couple ads in the back as well. I really love playing this left side rock here. Slowly chipping away at everything. And then once we kill all of these ads, we're going to spawn a new wave of ads in the back of the room, and specifically 2 eyeballs, one on the left and one on the right, that'll be tethered to wizards. So I like playing this rock once again. You can go ahead and take things out from a distance, namely the wizard, as once you kill the wizard, that eyeball will go away. And then once that eyeball's taken care of, you will get an unstoppable champion that spawns as a part of that pack. So I really like focusing on the unstoppable champion after we take care of that left side wizard. And then there will be a wizard on the right side that you can do the same thing with if you go to the right side rock. Bootsfur already killed it with Chaos Reach, but you can basically rinse and repeat on the right side what you just did for left side. Once all of those targets are dead, we're going to push our way up a little bit. And this is where I really like having Chaos Reaches and Supers available, because we're going to kill the remainder of all of these trash mobs. I like playing on this right side right here by the rock, because once you kill everything else, we're going to get the spawn of some trash mobs right here. Nice little grenade. And then once we kill all these trash mobs, we're going to have a tanky Taken Ogre spawn out of this door right here. And we can try and absolutely smoke him and one-shot him. Something to be aware of, you will have some trash mobs that spawn behind you. Nothing too crazy. Nothing you can't take out with your machine gun or something like that. I guess it is a little crazy, huh? But if you don't one-shot the ogre, just be aware of that, because you are going to have some ads to take out behind you. They don't push you too hard, so it's not the biggest deal, but just make sure you are aware of them. If you want to play that a little slower and a little safer, you could absolutely 100% just kind of back off and approach those enemy spawns the same way you approach the previous ones by playing this rock back here. You don't have to play as aggressive as we did. It's just if you want to save a little bit of time, really. If you want to go with the safer strategy, I'd probably recommend playing back. Or you could have two players, the ones with supers available, focus on the ogre, and then the third player with their heavy out, focusing on the trash mobs that are behind you. Then going to mop up all of the mobs, every single thing in the arena, and that will bring down the void barrier so that you can go ahead and continue to the next room, which will be the Shrieker room. Shrieker room is nice and easy. It's a similar philosophy to not the previous room that we just did, but the one before it, where we're basically going to put up shop with a Storm's Keep rally barricade and plink away at everything from a distance. Namely, these two Shriekers are going to be your #1 priority when you first enter this room. So this one on the left side, you do have to get a different angle on. And then once those two Shriekers are dead, you can just plink away at every single enemy way far back in the room with your Lemon Arcs, with all of your Void Artifact mods, with your Bolt Charge Titan Barricade. Absolutely easy as can be. And whenever your Warlocks have their Chaos Reaches up, you can, of course, go ahead and let the Chaos Reaches rip to speed things up a little bit. So go ahead and take this fella out. So I got one of them dead. We can then move a little bit to the right side so we get a different angle. Something's making him immune. There's that Phalanx. Boom. Now that he's not immune anymore, go ahead and blink away at him. And then we're just chilling all the way back here while we smoke both of these Taken Wardens. You're noticing as well, probably, that there's two unstoppable Taken Phalanxes as well, one on each side. You don't really have to worry about them too much. We'll deal with them a little bit later. We're really just most concerned about getting the Taken Wardens out to first, and then we'll worry about everything else. Once those Taken Wardens are out, we can push up slightly to spawn, to activate the next set of Shriekers. Just be a little careful with their damage. And then once we take out the next set of Shriekers, we can push up even more, which is actually going to spawn an additional wave of ads. So once we spawn that additional wave of ads, we're then going to back up, let all the ads walk into us. It's mainly going to be a lot of Thrall, so nothing too scary. But we're just going to back up a little bit, and that's also going to aggro the unstoppable Taken Phalanx as well. So we can go ahead and smoke him as he walks into us. And then we can push up slowly but surely to make sure that these Shriekers get a whiff of us so they open, so we can safely take out all three of them. There's another knight pushing up on us. One final Taken Shrieker, and then I believe we had this unstoppable Taken Phalanx alive as well. Nice and easy. Once you're done with that part, we're going to continue to push up. We're going to have another unstoppable Taken Phalanx. We're just going to take him out from a distance. And then we're going to continue to push up. Once you're around this area of the strike, by the way, feel free to, like, mag dump your heavy and use your supers as much as you want. I'll show you why in a second here. But once we get to this bridge, we're going to have a ton of Grims that we're going to want to make sure we take out. And then as we push up a little bit more, we're going to have a ton of husks. So just keep your distance with the husks, because you don't want to get killed by their martyrdom grenades. They are rather tanky. As you can see, Dusty pushed up and paid the price for it a little bit. Yeah, we're just going to push up, take care of everything. Once again, like I said, you can use your super on these guys. I'd actually advise that you do use your super on them. They are deceptively scary. And the reason I said you can use your super is because once you get to this part right before the boss, you will have a rally flag placement if you would like. So I'm going to let one of my teammates see the rally flag. Something I didn't notice about the rally flag as well is sometimes, as far as I can tell, it does seem to bug if you walk away from it as you're rallying. So make sure you're just kind of like giving it a little kiss, stand still while you rally. I had it one time where I rallied as I was walking away, and it consumed the rally, but it didn't actually refill my heavy or my super. So just a heads up. Now for this boss room, you want to make sure you hold your super until you enter the second phase of the boss fight, when he becomes ranged. I'll show you what I mean specifically as we get in here. So we're going to start the boss fight. He spawns right there, as you can see. He's going to walk out a little bit. The lemon arcs are really nice because the poison makes him rather easy to see. And we're going to blink away at him until he gets to about, we deal about a third of his health. Once we do a third of his health, we're going to spawn in a bunch of Thrall, as well as a couple wizards that we want to nuke right away, because these wizards are linked to the Suffocating Terror eyeballs, which will give us stacks of Suffocating Terror, and we want to make sure that we kill all the wizards before we get too many stacks of Suffocating Terror and die. Fusion rifles work splendidly for them. Heavy works splendidly for them. Just make sure you're very aware of all the Thrall. Your heavy ammo is pretty much exclusively for ad clear in this boss room. Once you get into about 50% HP, you're going to get some more Thrall to spawn as well. Just something to keep in mind. Staying airborne is really, really nice to make sure that none of the Thrall can get used. We're kind of always hopping around. And then once we get the boss to about 10% HP, we're going to spawn an eyeball in the middle with 3 less tanky wizards. So we're just going to kill all 3 of those wizards, mop up the rest of the adds, mop up all the Thrall. And then the boss is going to go to the middle to transform into his ranged mode. And this is where we have saved our supers for. Because when he comes back out, he's going to come back out with a bunch of adds, some husks, and our number 1 priority is to dispatch all of the adds as quickly as possible. We also want to make sure we kind of stay away from the walls to a certain degree, as the walls just kind of give the boss an angle to get like a backboard on us with his AoE weapon. We'll have an unstoppable phalanx as well. So for this part, it's definitely a stressful part, but I really just like staying on the move, staying airborne. I'm always hopping around. I'm making sure I'm not too close to the wall because I don't want to give the boss a backboard on me. Get this revive real quick. And we're just kind of always on the move, moving around the arena in a circle as we're clearing out all of the adds. Then we can go ahead and start doing some DPS to the boss. At about 50% HP, the boss is going to spawn an additional wave of adds and another unstoppable champion, so something to keep an eye out for. If you would like to, if you want to be as safe as possible, you can actually avoid damaging him if you'd like, and just kind of like chilling out with him until you get your super back in preparation for the additional wave of adds. It's not super necessary, but could be a good idea if you're struggling to stay alive here. If you do want to bring a hunter to the party instead of double warlock, a hunter can make things very, very nice. Whenever you do get the Thrall, make sure you're roaming around the arena as well, clearing out all of the taken mines that are left in their wake. So here's that 50% HP spawn. The husks are by far probably the most lethal enemies. So we're just going to kind of stay airborne, roam around, use our heavy weapon. There's that super. If you're weak, just play your life, stay on the move, stay airborne. I recommend against trying to get your rip down unless you know that there's no enemies on you. Otherwise, it's just a little risky. But once you're done with that wave of ads, you're home free. No more ads. You can just super the day away, smoke the boss, no more champions, no ads, nothing like that. And that's it. This boss fight is essentially 2 difficult waves of ads right when the ranged boss comes out and brings out the unstoppable phalanx and the husks along with him, and then at 50% HP when he brings out another wave of husks and another unstoppable phalanx. But if you have supers waiting and ready to go when those pop out, it's really not big of that. Really not that big of an issue. And like I said, after you clear out the first wave, you can avoid damaging the boss and just kind of chill with him, dodging his shots. He's not really that much of a threat when he's in the arena alone. You can just kind of chill with him and let him do his thing while you let your supers load up. And once all 3 of you have your supers back, then you can get him to 50% HP so that you have triple supers ready to go for the next wave of husks and the final unstoppable champion. Up to you how you want to play it. But yeah, that's pretty much the strike. As you kind of notice, the entirety of it is pretty kind of a complete joke, aside from the final boss fight where you have, when he enters range mode, those 2 waves are really the only thing that I think are going to throw players for a loop. So, hope you found this guide helpful. Please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you did. And once again, if you're struggling to find a team for this, Discord server linked in the description below, or come to my live stream, twitch.tv/Mactics, where we're doing carries for it. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.